Hey there and welcome to the 2023 Home Buyer's Guide. I'm Chase Hansen, your DFW Realtor. I'm a real estate agent serving North Texas, but the information I'm going to cover today applies to Texas in general and is pretty typical for the home buying process wherever you go. Just be aware that there can be some variations state to state depending on laws, regulations, and best practices. Today I'm going to give you a step-by-step overview of the home buying process. The goal here is for you to have an idea of how buying a house works, along with some of the major places you want to avoid big mistakes and position yourself well as a buyer. Let's jump in. Step one is to partner with a realtor. Now I know that can sound self-serving, but before you leave the video and hate me forever, there's actually a really important reason to start here. So let me explain. A realtor's job is all about representing the client. The way you'd want a lawyer to represent you in court, you wouldn't want to try representing yourself. You want a realtor to represent you in a home purchase because it's contracts, moving pieces, negotiations, and potential outs and pitfalls in the contract that you don't know about if you don't do this every day. And just like you wouldn't want to go get advice from your ex's lawyer in a divorce proceeding, you don't want to talk to the seller's agent because they're obligated to represent the seller and are on the other team working against you. So having your own realtor on your team from the beginning is important because it gives you a coach and an advocate to help you through the transaction and position you in the best ways possible. Not only that, but as a buyer, it doesn't cost you extra money to have an agent. You don't pay your realtor directly in Texas. Both agents' fees come out of the seller's closing costs. So if you don't have your own agent, you're going in blind and you're not even saving money in the process. It's always smart to have someone you trust to get you through the process on your team. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I'd love to be that agent for you. If not, still reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you find a great agent wherever you're moving and connect you. That's step one. Step two, get pre-qualified with a good lender. This is so important. Before you start looking at houses, and especially before you start making offers, you need to talk to a lender. They'll look at things like credit, income, debt, and savings, and tell you not only whether you can afford to buy right now, but also how much you can afford. And you want to base your budget and planning on facts, and a good lender will set you in the right direction. And if the answer is not yet, maybe you need to work on your credit a little, or your budget just isn't what you want it to be, you want to know that sooner rather than later so you can start taking proactive steps rather than getting caught by surprise. Now, not all lenders are created equally. My advice is to look for someone who specializes in mortgages and prioritize smaller local lenders over big national banks or fully online lenders. What you want is a lender who will communicate with you personally and that can process loans underwriting efficiently. It's also good to compare a few lenders' fees and rates to see what works best for you. Asking your realtor or friends who have bought recently for recommendations is always smart. At the end of the day, you're looking for someone who can get the job done and take care of you. Now, step three, starting your home search. One of the fun things about the way technology has progressed is that this can actually be more of a partnership than it used to be. Your agent will set you up with an MLS search based on your home needs. Now, MLS means multiple listing service. It's where all the home sites pull their data from. But with sites like Zillow, Homes.com, Realtor.com, and wherever else you go available, there are more ways than ever for you to find homes too. And I'd say that's great. Whatever leads you to getting the right house. I just recommend when there's a house you like, ask your realtor for more info. Don't click on the links on the sites. One of the ways that they make money is selling your info to other agents and you're just asking for spam mail. Another reason to ask your agent for more info is because sometimes the listings on those sites don't show certain details that the professional side of the MLS would flag, or the house might not work with your specific loan type. So an agent is going to know those extra things to look for. Plus, with direct MLS access, they're going to have the fullest picture of that house anyways. And from there, it's just a matter of scheduling a time with your agent to view houses until you find the right one. That's step three. Step four is making offers and negotiating. So you found a house or a couple houses you love and you want to put in an offer. Your agent will walk you through the contract details step by step and explain what each section of the contract means, what you're agreeing to, how those things will impact how appealing your offer is in getting the house to closing. Typically, this is when your agent is also reaching out to the seller's agent to let them know an offer is being prepared and start feeling out what expectations and hopes the sellers have. Now again, you as the buyer should never talk directly to the seller's agent or the seller themselves. That's how you end up giving away your negotiating power or losing the house altogether. Loose lips sink ships. Once an offer is submitted, the sellers can either accept, negotiate, or reject entirely. If they don't accept your terms, your agent is there to work on your behalf to improve, clarify, push back, whatever's needed to get things to a place that you're comfortable and that the sellers will also agree to. This is an important spot that having a good agent protects you from getting taken advantage of. Now for step 5, executing a contract and getting inspections. Now once the contract is in a place that both sides can agree to, everyone signs the contract and that makes it officially executed. In Texas, that's what we call under contract. In other places, they say it's an escrow. But once that has happened, we're on a strict timeline. The contract requires several things to happen in the first few days, like delivering money and documents to the escrow agent, which in Texas is the title company. That's a neutral third party that all the contracts and money go through. This is also when you get inspections done. Now, typically you'll have what's called an option period, a set number of days that you can back out for any reason. That's when you get inspections done and they negotiate any repairs or remedies. That's typically less than a week to get all that done. And it's not that houses pass or fail an inspection. The inspector gives you the condition of the house, and then you decide what you're comfortable with moving forward or not. And sellers decide what they're willing to do or not. And once your option period is over, you're basically locked in, and the house moves into what's called pending. Now, I work hard to keep all those deadlines in front of my clients so they stay ahead and are protected. Next is step 6. This is where lender paperwork and appraisals happen. Earlier you got pre-qualified, but that's not the same thing as getting approved. A pre-qual looks at a broad snapshot of your financial status and says whether you generally qualify for a loan based on the big stuff. Approval requires going through underwriting where the lender combs through everything in much greater detail and also factors in the specific house to write the final loan. This includes providing bank statements. Sometimes you'll have to write the bank letters. They rerun your credit. All the things they need to give your financials the green light with their risk assessors and loan processors. And then you also typically need a valid survey of the property and an appraisal for the home to be approved by the bank. Now, appraisal is the main question mark here because it can come in either higher or lower than the intended loan amount. If it comes in higher, that's good news for you because then it can even open up some options for you to save money if the conditions are right. If it comes in lower, we'll have to problem solve that with the lender to either get a second opinion, renegotiate price with the sellers, bring more money to cover the gap, or sometimes it means having to cancel the deal. We take that stuff as it comes, but that's where having a good realtor lender team that's good at communicating can work to help you problem solve and get things over the finish line. Finally, step 7, closing and celebrating. Now, closing is when you sit down with the escrow agent to sign all the final bank paperwork, hand over your cashier's check for the closing costs, and get the keys to your new house. Ideally, if you've made it to the closing table, there are no more surprises to be had because it's just signing on the dotted line about 100 times. I typically like to be at closing with my buyers though, so I'm available if there are any small fires to put out or calls to be made. But mainly it's a day to celebrate. Once the loan is funded, usually about an hour or two after signing, the house is officially yours and you can start moving in. That's the overview of the home buying process. Like if you found that helpful, and be sure to share this video with anyone you know who's thinking about moving this year. I also release monthly market updates for the Dallas-Fort Worth, North Texas market. If you're planning to buy in this area, I highly recommend checking those out for an up-to-date picture of what the market is like right now as a buyer and an explanation of the biggest factor influencing the market, whether it be changes in mortgage rates, home prices, new factors that are impacting consumers. You can find those all on my channel along with all sorts of other great content, and be sure to subscribe while you're there.